Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sikhuluma ama-reality TV shows, ama-celebrities kanye nama-YouTubers. Listen, you guys, this is another video about Mbongeni Ngema and the drama that is taking place now with the family. If you are somebody that feels like we should not be talking about Mbongeni Ngema anymore, because if we talk about him too much, he's not going to be resting in peace, like people are saying in the comment section, please move on to other videos. But here we're going to talk about all of the drama that's taking place now with his family. So there is an article that came out today talking about how the family, after the funeral, they're expressing how they are not happy with certain things that happened while they were preparing for the funeral. You guys, I do imagine that it's very difficult when your family member is a public figure, because there are things that the family want to do that the government might not necessarily want to do. If the person also is a public figure, the government is contributing to the funeral and they are sort of taking lead in the funeral arrangements. I imagine that there are things that are not going to go according to what the family wants. Okay. I do wonder, you guys, if you were a public figure and you had to choose whether you wanted to be buried with the heroes of South Africa somewhere, like strangers, but strangers who are heroes, or your family. Would you choose to be buried with your family, or would you choose to be buried with the heroes? Because I think that I would want to be buried with my family. Okay. But I also do understand sometimes our families are like not our favorite people. Some of us don't even go home for Christmas, okay, because we're avoiding spending time with them. So maybe we don't even want to spend time with them after life, okay? So I do wonder, you guys, really what Mbongeni Ngema wanted is what people say that he wanted, really what he wanted, or what they're saying is what they wanted. Okay, so there's a conflict there. So before this article came out, there is another one that I'm going to start with that came out on the Daily Sun. It says the family drama of Mbongeni Ngema, and this is a story by Ujabulani Langa. This one talks about how it was a difficult decision between, the family and I guess between family in terms of where he should be buried, because there was an option to bury him back at home with family, and there was also an option to bury him with the heroes in Durban. It says family of legendary playwright and musician Bongeni Ngema is divided about where to bury him. Some, especially elders, were suggesting that he must be buried in his rural hometown in Tlwatsi, Northern KZN, next to the ancestors' graves, while others suggested that he should be buried in Durban with other heroes. There were claims that Ngema wished to be buried in his rural hometown, while others claimed that he wished to be buried in a place of heroes called Heroes Acre in Durban. Okay. And Ngema's younger brother, Nhlanhla Ngema, told their son that the family was divided, but they managed to find a common ground and agreed that he'll be buried at the Heroes Acre in Red Hill Cemetery. Remember that they did have a place in Chesterville, which is now full. So they've opened a new Heroes Acre in Red Hill. So that's where he ended up being buried. During this time, things like this happen. It's true the elders are suggesting that he must be buried at Ntlwatsi next to his ancestors' graves. His wife, Mpumelelo Gumede Ngema, also revealed that Mbongeni wanted to be buried at Heroes Acre in Durban. At the end, we all agreed that he must be buried in Durban as per wishes. I really do wish you, I do hope you guys that he really did want to be buried with the heroes. Okay, I just don't understand why you would prefer to be with the strangers than with your family. But I mean, I guess if you spend most of your time with those people, you would want to be buried with them. Okay. We went consulted about the burial Mbongeni Ngema's family. This is another article that talks about how some of the family members are saying that they were not really consulted when it comes to the finalization of what was going to take place in the funeral. This is a story by Umbalenhle Zuma. So it says drama is unfolding following the passing of legendary playwright Mbongeni Ngema. Ngema's family says that they have not received a clear communication regarding the family's memorial service. The event was supposed to be held at Kwangema Mfana Homestead. Okay. I did wonder about this, you guys, because just like Uzahara, you remember Uzahara, she passed away in Joburg, they did a memorial service, and then in her hometown they did a memorial service. With Mbongeni Ngema, it was done in Durban, Yes, it's still in the same province, but it's not really in his home or in his village. Let me say that it's not really Ngakubo, it's just in Durban. Okay, this is different. A memorial service to the public. One, there was held on Wednesday at the Playhouse Company in Durban. The event was attended by dignitaries, including former President Jacob Zuma and the industry bigwigs. Bigwigs. So I do. My understanding is that it was supposed to be a different memorial service, just like I'm saying it happened with Zahara. Even with him, it was supposed to be a memorial service in Devon Playhouse, but then they were supposed to do one back at home. The family claims that the Ngema family spokesperson, Utlantla Ngema, said nothing to them about the memorial service and the funeral details. This is contained in a letter written to the KwaZulu-Natal office of the Premier, Nomusa Dube. Okay, I guess there's another letter. Okay, Dube is receiving a lot of letters. The Ngema family from Mfana Ntwatsi KwaHlabisa says that they are not pleased with how matters relating to Mbongeni's burial are being handled. To this day, the family knows nothing formally about the memorial service, which was supposed to be held at Kwangema Mfana homestead. Okay, as discussed in a brief meeting that was held on Sunday. So I guess in this meeting that they had on Sunday, they had decided that they were going to have the memorial service in their homestead. In addition to the one that was going to happen on Wednesday, there was another one on Thursday that was supposed to happen back at home. That would have totally made sense, especially for people that were not able to get to the Durban Playhouse. As a result, the family, together with the community, there has been a huge negative stress that has been caused by the lack of transparency. This is a thing, you guys, especially if you're somebody popular, somebody famous, somebody big, somebody that has made a big impact. A lot of the times, the community where you are from, everybody likes, that thing of Mbongeni Ngema comes from here. I stay ngihlala ngakubo kaMbongeni Ngema, and if that person passes away, people usually want to attend. Okay, they want to attend the memorial service, they want to attend the funeral. So I guess it was a disappointing thing that this memorial service didn't go as planned. The Ngema family said during the funeral arrangements meeting, one of the things that were discussed was that there will be a memorial service held at Mfana. This is Ngema's home, where all necessary services would have been provided by the provincial government, including the tent, the catering, among other things. It is with disappointment that none of that was delivered at Mfana. Okay, so I guess they paid more attention to whatever it is that was happening in Durban, and nobody paid attention to whether things were done at Mfana. Okay, people have flooded the home of Kwangema. Only the police have come to monitor the situation as instructed by Brigadier Mhlongo Under is by in SAPS. There is no tent, no shelter, no ablution facilities, no catering services for the people who have come to the memorial services. This has caused great distress and concern to the family and the entire mourners. Listen, you guys, I do think that maybe with the family members, because it does sound like this a nephew, I think it's a nephew, Mbongeni Ngema, that speaks for the family, seem to have been responsible for a lot of things. So maybe they should have appointed another family member to say, listen, you will be responsible for what takes place in Fana, so that people they don't feel like they are abandoned, okay? And then I can take care of what's happening in Durban. The Ngema family also states that they are a big family with elders remaining in Fana. They say family elders to date know nothing about the details of the burial of the late playwrights. I do think that it's unfortunate, you guys, that happened, that there were elders that were not able to attend the funeral or the memorial service because they thought that something was going to be done back at home. However, you guys, I do feel like, I mean, it's a possible oversight, okay? Especially when you have a lot to arrange. Okay, they were concerned with who and how decisions were taken in place that we do not even know. This was because Ngema had not declared to the family that he had another home in Durban, Queensburg. So I guess they feel like he can't big. Okay. The community came to mourn with us, and we told them that there will be a memorial service. Community leaders feel that we lied to the community of Entlwati mission area. As a family of Mfana Entlwati, we strongly believe that if there were any conflicts and misunderstandings, there should have been a way for both parties sitting down as a family to discuss the solution prior to the final decision. But I'm sure you guys, the community would understand, especially when somebody has passed, you guys, whatever goes wrong during the process of trying to send them off, I think the community should really understand it's an honest mistake because you can't accommodate everybody. You can be upset about it, but not to a point where it's just like a big deal. Be like, okay, as long as the person had a good send off. The family has also disputed the family spokesperson version that Ngema would be laid to rest at Heroes Acres. Okay. And I guess he was right because that's what happened. We, as the Mfana Kwangema family, understand that Dr. Mbongeni Ngema lived his life through his work. Okay. The family has even quoted a song that Ngoma wrote. In a song, Ngema says, Ngosuku engofa ngalo ningisize nibongcwaba emfana kwangema emhlwathi on the day I die. Assist by burying me emfana. Yeah, that's what it means. That's what he's saying, you guys. Okay. In the song, okay? He said it in a song. Bury me emfana, okay? Ningisize ninga kushintshi lokho noma ngabe ngingasekho kodwa ningakushintshi lokho. Don't change that even though I would have died. Don't change that, okay? That's the thing, though. If this was in one of Mbongeni Ngema's song, I understand maybe it was his wish. But what if, over and above the song, he also told some people that he would like to be buried at the Heroes Acre. So how do you decide which one do you use? Okay, to use the song or to use his other words? Okay, but I guess his song is in writing. So earlier this week, a woman who claims to be a late playwright's customary wife threatened to interdict the government from organizing his burial. Okay, this is another story that I did earlier on today, you guys, because there is somebody that is claiming to be Mbongeni Ngema's customary wife, and she wanted to be involved in the planning of the wedding. And it was reported earlier on today that that person is actually not well because she did collapse due to the stress with this whole thing of Mbongeni Ngema passing away and also her not being involved in the planning of the funeral. So I won't read this part of it, you guys. I do hope, you guys, because after the funeral, obviously there are things that are done at home. They probably will have to go back home. Angazi abanye kuyagezwa. It depends what is their way of doing things. Kuyagezwa, kugundwe ekhaya, kusikwe amalokhuzana, izinzilo, abantu bathole amaphisi lawo okufaka inzila. And I guess I'm hoping that maybe during that time, then they can sit down with the elders and say, listen, there was a lot going on. We might not have communicated the way that we would have loved to. We apologize. And also to the community, we sorry that that happened, but it wasn't our intention to exclude anybody from the funeral. But guys, it happens with a lot of the families after the funeral, during the funeral, before the funeral. When somebody passes, there's almost always a drama of some sort. Okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. But I am interested to know if you would choose to be buried with the heroes or with your family. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiyona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.